and start taking photographs of people's cars that you don't know.
You're the one that's come back for confrontation, buddy.
Okay?
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not your buddy.
Alright?
I'm not your buddy. Put your phone down.
No, I'm live streaming at the moment.
It's okay.
Can you identify yourself?
Put your phone down a minute.
Can you identify
Put your phone
yourself?
down before you start getting arrested for causing...
For what?
Well, first of all, you called a public order. You don't call a police officer.
That's not a public order.
So yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Do you know the law?
You're in the street. You put your phone down.
Who's made a complaint?
And we'll have a chat.
We're not having. I'm not putting my phone down because I don't trust you the way you've got out. Can you identify yourself, please?
With the police, don't you?
Identify yourself.
Tell you what, you identify yourself.
I don't need to.
Well, I don't need to either.
Yes, you do, buddy. It's your policy.
You tell me what your name is, and then we'll go from there.
Would you like to identify yourself?
We'll go from there.
We're asking you not to.
That's my idea, okay? Right, now you need to back down, walk away, and stop making a confrontation.
I'm not making a confrontation. You were the one that came back.
I asked you.
Arrogancy is not a crime.
Telling police officers that they're dead is a problem.
That lady could have heard that.
Getting arrested for.
You should be arrested.
It's a public order offence for you to say that in the street.
I made you aware. I made sure there was no one around.
You cannot stand in the street outside a police station.
I made you aware there was no one around.
You're mouthing off saying dead to you.
From the moment the first officer gets out of his vehicle, things start going in the wrong direction. He walks up to the independent filmer with a rude and dismissive attitude, telling them to stop recording and leave, even though they're clearly standing in a public place where they have every right to be. When the filmer questions him, the officer quickly brings up the Public Order Act, claiming it could be a Section 5 offense. But there's a problem. No one has complained, and there's no sign of any disturbance, which are key parts of that law. Instead of following proper procedure and identifying himself, the officer avoids the question and pushes for the filmer's personal details, something people don't have to provide without a valid legal reason. It's only when a second officer arrives and handles the situation properly that the first officer finally backs off, realizing his approach wasn't holding up.
Alright, there was no members of the public about, unlike when you did it, and you're a police officer.
Whatever that is in your life, okay?
I haven't got
whatever
one.
You've got going on in your life, that is a bit of a chip on your shoulder. Sort it out yourself, sort out your life.
Why don't you stop telling people what to do?
And then we'll walk away and then we can get on with our job.
You'll walk away now.
Proper criminals to catch.
You'll walk away now.
People like yourself.
You'll walk away now.
If I come back and find you still
here, you'll do nothing.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
I will deal with you.
What will you do?
I will deal with you.
What will you do?
Well, if you're still here to make a photograph, I will deal with you, okay?
Which is exactly because you can't.
Alright?
Come on, you don't know what you're going to deal with me about because there's no such thing to deal with me. I'm taking pictures.
I know you are, and you've been an absolute idiot about it.
So? You are? You heard yourself.
You stand there and
you're getting reported, buddy.
Some of them aren't police vehicles.
You're getting reported.
Some of them.
Care less.
So will you.
If there's a Porsche in there, a Porsche 911 Turbo, I'll take a picture of it.
That's
what I do. I haven't got a problem. You're the one with the problem.
Speak to somebody.
See if you see these two guys here, will arrest you for that public order you've just done.
All you've got to do is come and speak to us at the front desk without photographing.
All you've got to do is come and speak to me and not shout at me.
Yeah, well, don't call police officers.
This guy's just committed a public order offence in front of a lady.
During the exchange, the auditor quietly used a controversial word, directing it only at the officer and making sure it couldn't be heard by the public. While some might question the language, it doesn't reach the legal threshold for a Section 5 public order offense, which requires that someone actually feels alarm, harassment, or distress. But moments later, the situation takes an unexpected turn. The officer repeats the same word, this time loudly and within earshot of a passerby. That shift completely changes the context. By openly using the very term he had just criticized, especially while on duty, the officer undermines his own argument and raises serious questions about whether he may have crossed the very line he was trying to enforce.
What you repeated to me, fella.
Which is a swear word.
Oh, it's a swear word. So you accept that?
Yeah. I didn't. There was no members of the public about. I wouldn't do that. To take some pictures of the marked cars.
Okay. And what's that for? What's that for?
Just for like my Flickr account. A photography website.
Okay. And what purpose? Why
just
the
for different. Just what I do. Different marked cars and stuff. Different types. Try to get some shots of them maybe coming out with the blue lights on and stuff.
Of marked cars. There is all.
I have not taken.
No marked cars there. As you can see, is there any marked cars there?
There was one parked there.
There wasn't.
There was one parked to that white next to that white Skoda.
Okay.
And I wasn't taking pictures at the time. No,
you
I wasn't.
waited until we drove out.
I was like that, and I was getting
I know
ready.
what you were doing. I saw you. I got eyes.
But get over it.
I saw what you were doing.
Get over it.
ID on you?
No, I don't give me ID.
What's your name?
I don't give me IDs. It's nothing personal, I just don't give me details out. I'm just down here doing are you like a YouTube?
Give your details out.
What crime do you suspect me of then, if I'm not?
Well, there's been a public order offence to stop.
There hasn't. I've got it all on camera, love. All of it on camera. That's the chap who's committed a public order. I never swore in front of anyone. I made sure there's no one around, and this chap here swore in front of an old lady that was walking past, and I was filming the whole thing. Pardon?
You couldn't be sure that...
I had a look round, that there was no one round, and I set up.
After calmly pointing out that it was actually the officer, not him, who may have crossed the line by repeating offensive language within earshot of the public, the auditor is suddenly asked to provide his personal details. It feels less like a lawful request and more like an attempt to shift attention away from the officer's own behavior. Then the officer's colleague steps in, arguing that they can't be certain no one else was around when the auditor first spoke. But the auditor quickly pushes back, explaining that he checked his surroundings, spoke through a closed car window, and made sure no one else could hear him. That's a clear contrast to what the officer did, loudly repeating the same word just as a passerby was walking past. One situation was controlled and private, the other careless and public. By trying to treat both actions as the same, the officers blur the legal line, making it seem like the auditor is at fault while deflecting from their own conduct.
Don't come round, start threatening people.
We're asking you to stop doing it.
Well, I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm not at your house. I'm not at your house.
These are personal vehicles, some of these, so you don't need to be doing it.
All you have to say is, will you block them out? That's what I do.
And I'm not saying I'm arresting you for taking those photos. I'm asking for like details so we can ascertain
Right,
who you are.
again, it's nothing personal. I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't give me details out. It's just a general rule. Yes, but it's your policy.
Pardon?
It's your policy.
We have asked
We don't know who you are.
Right, so tell me your address.
Pardon?
What's your address then?
I don't need to tell you that.
Well, I don't need to tell you mine. You are a public servant.
And you're a civilian.
Right, and me and everyone watching pay your wages. Don't get it. No,
okay?
no.
Public servant's asking you to move along,
No,
right?
I won't servant. You serve us.
You obviously served somewhere, haven't you? Probably.
Obviously not. No.
Probably somewhere like.
And even if I did, what did that matter? Eh? None of your business, is it?
Oh, what a joke you are.
What a joke you are. So the world's going to be laughing at you, mate, not me.
We've got other things to do. We've got proper criminals to arrest.
Are you going to do the driver shame?
Idiots like this.
Everyone's going to be laughing at you. You showed your warrant card.
Laughing at you, fella.
No, mate, laughing at you.
Joke.
You are famous.
They joke. Oh, thanks, mate.
You're famous.
I
Say
appreciate that.
hello to your friends and family.
I don't need to.
Show them what a lovely chap you are when you approach members of the public.
Oh, what a joke.
That's going to be the thumbnail
got
for the
any mirrors
video.
in your house?
That's going to be the thumbnail
got
for
any
the
mirrors
video.
in your house?
Hey, you should see my missus, eh? You won't be saying that then.
What a joke.
Says him.
What a joke. God, we got proper.
You'll be getting reported as well for that.
The officer's behavior during this encounter clearly crosses the line. Telling the auditor to move along while calling him a civilian isn't just rude, it shows a deeper issue. It reflects a sense of superiority and a misunderstanding of what policing is really about. Police officers aren't above the public. They're there to serve them. Using the term civilian in that way makes it seem like the officer sees himself as separate from and above the very people he's supposed to represent. Things get worse when he starts mocking the auditor's appearance and treating him like a joke. This isn't harmless banter. It's a uniformed officer putting someone down for simply exercising their legal right to film in public. That kind of behavior isn't professional. It's a misuse of authority. And moments like this don't just reflect badly on one officer. They damage the trust between law enforcement and the public they're meant to protect.
Realise there's nothing you can do now.
But there are police cars in here, and
Couldn't care less.
Cars that aren't.
Couldn't care less. If I wanted to, I said I won't take pictures of them, and I won't, but if I wanted to, I could. Get over it.
Goodbye, loser.
Driver shame, you'll be reported for that as well. Look who it is again, guys.
Right now, because I am suspecting you of committing an offence, okay, a criminal offence.
If you're going to use your
And
terrorism card...
I want you to stop filming.
If you're going to use your terrorism card...
Stop hiding behind your camera.
I'm not hiding.
Okay?
If you're going to use your terrorism card,
Okay.
you're going to get told off for it, so don't even think about
Well,
it.
I'm going to use what, sorry?
The terrorism card. Because this
Why
is what
you
all
said
this is
terrorism?
about.
That now puts bells in my head.
No, it
now.
doesn't,
Why
because
you said terrorism?
this is what I do. Documentaries on
This is
police
what you
abuse
do.
in Section 43.
Why you said terrorism?
Because I do documentaries on police. Are you listening?
Do you just shut up a minute and listen?
Don't talk to me like that.
And listen to me.
Don't
Before
talk
you
to me
stop
like
mouthing
that.
off all the time. You're not always right, fella. If you're outside a police station or a military barracks and you're filming, you will attract attention by police, military, whatever, okay? Now what you're doing, I suspect, because you've just mentioned the Terrorism Act.
I'm doing a documentary.
You're doing something around the Terrorism
Go for it and see if you end up in court then.
So I am asking you for your details. I want to check you out next.
I'm not giving you details.
If you do not,
if you want to get yourself in court for an unlawful arrest, go for it.
Because I can suspect.
When the auditor brings up the Terrorism Act, the officer takes a questionable turn, suggesting that simply mentioning the law is enough to justify suspicion of terrorism. But that's not how it works. Section 43 is very clear. Police need reasonable suspicion based on actual facts, context, and behavior, not just someone quoting the law or standing up for their rights. If that kind of logic were accepted, then anyone who understands the law and challenges authority could be treated as a suspect. That would essentially turn legal knowledge into something punishable, which goes against the very purpose of the law. The clearest insight into the officer's mindset comes when the auditor questions whether the arrest is lawful. The officer responds, "I could suspect anything." That one line says a lot. It shows a misunderstanding of what suspicion really means, treating it like a personal choice rather than something that must be backed by evidence. In doing so, it twists the law and suggests a level of power that simply isn't justified.
You need reasonable suspicion.
I told you my details.
You lot have been in trouble for this before.
I don't care. I'm asking you for your details.
Go for it. You'll end up in court. You're not getting them because I've not done nothing wrong.
And I've
right, fair enough
years in the police. I've been to court loads of times. Okay.
Right,
so what does that tell you, Mister?
That tells you that this time you're gonna. I'm not telling you. You ain't finding out.
What's your name?
I'm not telling you.
Okay. I'm gonna get a van here, and you're gonna get arrested.
Go on then. There's nothing to arrest me for. I've done nothing wrong.
If you fail to give your details under Section 24 of PACE, Police and Criminal Revenue Act 1984, I will arrest you for your details because I suspect you are now at a police station. You've been seen at Hereford, and now we've come up to do an inquiry up here, and lo and behold, you're outside my station again.
Where? Your station?
Yes,
it's our station. The public's that we pay for.
I'm a West Mercia police officer.
So we pay for this.
Mercia police. I don't serve you.
You should do.
We pay your wages, working Whitehall and places like that. Okay, in London, you need to know what you're talking about before you start mouthing off.
The officer says, "I've worked in the police force for 23 years. I've been to court many times." It doesn't come across as confidence. It feels more like complacency. Almost as if being questioned is just routine, rather than something that should be taken seriously. The situation becomes even more concerning when the auditor points out they're standing outside a police station funded by taxpayers, and the officer responds, "I serve West Midlands Police, not you. I'm not a public servant." That statement cuts against the very foundation of policing. Police officers aren't there to serve an organization. They're there to serve the public. That's not just tradition. It's a core principle of a democratic society. Saying otherwise suggests a troubling mindset, where the badge is used to avoid accountability instead of representing trust. The reality is simple. Policing is funded by the public, and officers are meant to answer to them.
I would like you to leave.
Right, I'm not going to. Not after he's done that. I'm a pretty decent fella. Everyone on my YouTube channel agrees. I don't have to.
If you're saying you're a victim of crime, then you need to give me your
I'll report it online with this video evidence.
And I've asked you to move on respectfully, and I've asked you if you're not going to move on, and if you can respect the fact that if it's not a marked vehicle, that you blur out registration. And as long as there's no further offences are committed.
No further offences? What offence has been committed?
I'm not saying there's been.
You just said any further offences.
There's no further offences committed.
Further offences. So what? Yes, but further public order. So what public order offence has been committed? Exactly, because you've just said there's been an offence committed.
I've not said there's an offence committed.
You did. You admitted it on camera.
Before wrapping up this report, there's one more concerning piece of footage to look at. It shows the same officer in a separate incident, this time confronting and making threats toward a group of young people.
Say again. I'm not on your property, I'm stood here, so I can't put the finger. Yeah, but I wouldn't put the finger, I was here.
I am filming you.
Well, they called us a... And there's no need for it.
Are you filming me?
I can film you all you wish. All I was doing was dropping the vehicle off. I'm doing you a favour.
If you're filming, what do you tell me?
Okay.
I was doing you a favour, I won't bother again.
Okay, happy? We'll see you again, alright?
Is that a threat?
No, it's a promise.
It's a threat.
I'll come to see you. Doing the sign, okay?
And
doing the Sign. It's a public order offence, okay? I will come and see you at some point. It's Friday today. I'll come and see you next week. All right? We'll deal with your brother.
You can film all you wish.
All right? And then we'll come and speak to you. All right? That's a promise.
Not to do you a
all
favour
right?
again.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, and be a good boy, okay?
And you.
Before we wrap up, there's one more clip that makes this situation even harder to ignore. It shows the same officer, already under criticism for arrogance and overstepping, this time directing his attention toward a group of children. Their offense? Making hand gestures from behind a window. Instead of handling it professionally or simply walking away, he escalates things, accusing them of committing a public order offense and warning that he might come back. Then, with a patronizing tone, he adds, "Be a good boy," a comment that comes across as condescending and full of superiority. When you place this alongside his earlier behavior toward Auditor Matt, a clear pattern starts to emerge.